Not so much a note as the notelet really, just as an addition to the previous video about the Dapol 08 board. This is the other version for the earlier 08. It's the 08 that had a headlight at the top in the middle at each end. This was the earlier one. The next version didn't have that light at the top. It just had these two lights, and it had different plugs inside for the lighting. So this board is also different in that because it's only got shunting red and white fixed shunting lights at each end, you can just use one of the old 8-pin decoders here. And there's a jumper here as well if you're using the 8-pin decoder, and both shunting lights at each end can either work on auxiliary output 1, or you can take a jumper off, solder the violet wire that's not connected to the plug on a 4-function 8-pin decoder, solder that wire to the pin nearest the socket, and then the rear shunting lights can work on function output 2. Because none of that matters, of course, if you're using a 21-pin decoder. That'll have function 1 and function 2 separate to each set of shunting lights at each end. So that's the version of for that earlier 08. The only other difference is that that earlier 08 also had a ground wire soldered to the motor. I don't know that it's particularly necessary, but I have duplicated it here as well. So there's five wires to solder up if you use this board. The other thing I'll show you quickly is the poor man's charger, which is just a USB. This one's a USB-C one, but you can get them in micro USB as well. So a standard USB charger in there, and then there's the 3-pin plug that goes in the charge socket of the board. And then I say this is a poor man's charger because so you plug it in and the light will shine red. When it shines green or blue, depending on what type it is, that first cell is charged. So you just flick the switch, the light will go red again, and it will charge the other cell. And so it will balance charge each cell in the 08 nice and safely. And that's a socket I use for all the Dapol small locos, like the Ginty and the Panya as well. Have that same charge socket, and you can use this same cheap but safe charger for lithium cells. So yeah, that's it. Thanks.